Hello and welcome to my review of Around the World in 80 Days, the musical. I went to watch this at Bolton's Octagon Theatre on Wednesday the 27th of December. While there, as always, I picked up this amazing programme. Has links on the top to a lot of the countries that they visited, and obviously this, which links to one of the key characters. Unlike my television series and film reviews, however, I'm unable to make notes in the theatre, as in my opinion, I think it's very insulting if you write anything while watching someone perform, whether it's positive or negative. So then, here are some rehearsal photos. And this one came with that. And that, because we went over the Christmas period. And then there's that one, more rehearsal pictures. Cast and Creatives page. This is my programme, by the way. More rehearsal pictures. I have no idea where they rehearsed for this, but yeah, it honestly looks incredible, like what they've done. Right, and then a bit of the sponsorship, and then on your way out they were handing out these. Despite not being the next one, it's the one that's 12 months from now. I'd like to go and watch this one actually, and I think it'd be really interesting. So, this was a play set in the round, which, as we all know, is people sat on all four sides of the stage. This, however, is Bolton's Octagon Theatre, so technically it's all 8 sides of the stage. This works for this, especially with the way that the characters went through, up the stairs and around you. It really works. If you haven't had a chance to see, there are still a few days left, as this doesn't close until the 6th of January 2024. So if you still want, you can still go and watch. So then, this was great. I highly recommend. And once again, Jungle Book on the back, with additional leaflet handed out on your way out, with additional information and QR code for you to scan. So, do I recommend that you go and watch this? That depends. This is not for everyone, and by no means do I think that everyone will like this. However, if you are a theatre fan, you will absolutely enjoy this. Excuse me. So, if you want to go and watch it. If you don't want to go and watch it, don't go and watch it. It is entirely up to you what you do. Now, let's move on to my major review style. The cast, a 7. These were some great actors, lots of them being swing actors, meaning that they're playing lots and lots of roles, which in itself is incredible. Even those who were playing like leading roles had at least 2 roles, and like there were times where they had these aprons that they wore, and it was brilliant to see. Which of course links into my next section, which is costume design. It is authentic to the time period. It looks like the 1920s. Yeah, 1920s. So that is just what you need. It looked great. It was incredible, and I loved it. Characters, 8. These are some great characters. If you haven't been to see, if you haven't seen the story before, this should really be your way in. The characters are great, and knowing the story is it's great. I really enjoyed it. The plot is, of course, brilliant. Watching this woman try and cross the world in 80 days, do it faster than the Americans, number one, do it on a bet, number two, and do it against someone who is a prominent figure in, like, the country is brilliant. So, you know, that was great. Now, obviously, like I said, this is a musical, so the choreography must be on point. And the choreography for this was brilliant. There was one song where they made an elephant. They made an elephant using cloths. That is superb. Like, the amount of times where I've been to musicals and they've done it with props, like The Lion King, it works. That was something that's on a whole other level, and I highly recommend it. The set design was once again an 8. So as you follow the story, it starts as, obviously, they're going around the world. Someone picks up this wooden panel out of the floor, and it says the country that they're on, and they'll hold it above the head, like this, and then they'll turn around and show, like, all 4 or all 8 sides of stage, and then they'll place it down, face up, so you can keep track of where they've been throughout the show. So obviously they went to England first, because it starts in England, then they go to places like China, and then they'll pick it up, it says China, then they put it down, and it's just the little things, and it works, and it links into my set design score of an 8, because the set was superb to have that, like, to not get on the set, and for like weeks before the show, and to still pull that off is just wow. Then there's the then there's like, because they go through, like, around the theatre, it's really, really, like, it's so good. And this, of course, links into the blocking, because Bolton's Octagon Theatre does not have a large stage. The stage for Bolton's Octagon Theatre is very, very small. Like, bedrooms are probably bigger than the stage that you've got, like, the space, like, so, like, the floor space left in a bedroom is probably more than that. It's a small stage, and they made it work. They made it work by going up the stairs, using the stairs that are around them as locations, like the telegram office and home base, and just using that as, like, all sorts, and using all the set over and over and over again was worth it, and using the props over again was really worth it. The music, I gave it a 7. Oh, excuse me. The performance of the music was great. I have no idea whether there was someone on hand, excuse me, actually playing the piano, but I know for sure that there was someone in, like, all those people were singing live. Sorry, my phone case is, like, falling apart at the moment. I'm waiting for a new one. Anyway, at the moment, the music was superb. Like, you listen to music from shows like Chess, where when you watch it live, the show itself doesn't really feel as good as the music does. But just listening to that music was absolutely incredible. The villains, there are 2 villains, I guess you could say. One is the Passepartout surprise villain, and then the main villain, who's this Democrat who's like, you cannot do this, and it's really, really, really strong storyline behind it. The rewatchability is a 7. I would love to watch this again. I'm desperate to watch this where it's not in the round, because there are musicals that are in the round that you watch for the first time in the round, and you're like, wow, that's really good, and, like, you can feel it all around you. Then you take that away, you put it in your regular proscenium arch theatre, or not proscenium theatre, I can't think what the other one's called, but, like, your straight rows theatre, and you don't have that round experience. Do you get the same feeling? And I think you would. I really think you would. Now, availability, I've given it a 5, because, like I said, it was in a small town theatre. It was in Bolton's Octagon Theatre, which in itself, it's not a very big theatre, like performance space, and it's in the middle of pretty much a dead town. Like, there's nothing to do in Bolton, but the theatre's great, and I think it's like going around the country at the moment, hoping to pick up like a bit of prestige along the way, because this is how a lot of shows start. Mrs. Doubtfire started in Bolton's Octagon. The Book Thief musical, that also started in Bolton's Octagon. So, you know, there's all these musicals that start here. That is what you need to remember. Small theatres do great. So yeah, that's all from me for today. Hope you're having a wonderful new year, and I will see you all very, very soon. Alright, so that has been my experience with Around the World in 80 Days. Make sure, let's see if this works here. That looks good, actually. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.